And if I'm there for a long time, they don't want that. They want it to heal quickly and send me back.
We continue with our reports exposing the horrific losses of the Russian army in Ukraine. Entire units are at times wiped out on the battlefield. Now, Ukrainian intelligence has intercepted a call that reveals the scale of these setbacks. Out of 25, only 2 remain alive. The army of the aggressor state, Russia, continues to suffer heavy losses among its personnel.
Hey, Irina, Dimka is in the hospital. Yes, he got in touch yesterday. His leg in short, 3 holes and a fragment in the neck. But they didn't remove it. They didn't remove it. He told me that if they take it out, it means I'll be in treatment for a long time. And if I'm there for a long time, they don't want that. They want it to heal quickly and send me back. Well, out of 25, only 2 survived, it seems, right? He understood even back then, after 5 days of training, yes.
A Russian tank was destroyed by a Ukrainian anti-tank guided missile near Mala Tokmachka on the Tokmak axis, caught during its retreat from a combat position. We don't see Russian tanks being destroyed by anti-tank missiles as often as at the start of the war. Today, drones have taken over that role, hunting armor from above and making tank losses a constant threat on every part of the front. Still, anti-tank missiles remain a vital weapon, used to ambush Russian armor in difficult terrain and to finish off targets when drones can't reach them. Russian soldiers in civilian clothing, disguising themselves as civilians, attempted to infiltrate the settlement of Yampil in the Donetsk region. The 11th Army Corps of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported on this. According to the military, individual enemy groups were hiding in private houses, basements, and other structures, using local residents as human shields. Images from Ukrainian drones captured Russian soldiers carrying ammunition and weapons concealed under their outer clothing moving around the outskirts. Units of the 11th Army Corps carried out a series of anti-terrorist operations, as a result of which the enemy was detected, blocked, and neutralized. Currently, Yampil and the surrounding areas are under complete control of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. The enemy achieved no tactical results. All their attempts to carry out reconnaissance and sabotage operations were thwarted. Meanwhile, Ukrainian military officials note that the enemy continues to attempt infiltration in small groups, taking advantage of natural conditions and the density of civilian settlements. The Corps emphasized that monitoring of the situation is ongoing and countermeasures are being strengthened. Such actions by the Russian soldiers constitute a gross violation of international law and may be classified as a war crime under the Geneva Conventions and Additional Protocol 1, Article 37. Russia has created the first Bars Sarmat flight unit using light aircraft to intercept Ukrainian long-range drones in the deep rear. Russian blogger Ilya Tumanov, author of the aviation channel Fighter Bomber, shared this information. The Bars Sarmat Special Forces Center of the Russian Armed Forces has deployed a unit of 6 interceptors that were purchased or donated by supporters. The unit is planned to be expanded in the future, as negotiations are underway for several more aircraft. It is reported that Russian aviators are manning the unit with Soviet Yak-18T and Yak-52 sports training aircraft. The latter is the one that appeared in the video, where a gunner with a Kalashnikov rifle sits behind the pilot. The first plane of the detachment started shooting at the intruders. Later, according to the plan, there will be normal turrets, the blogger noted, announcing the appearance of a machine gun for the shooter. The authors of the publication mentioned that the unit managed to attract technicians, pilots, as well as several spare engines and other spare parts to keep the aircraft in a combat-ready state. The Russians are adopting the tactics of using light aircraft from the Ukrainian military, which has begun using sporty Yak-52s to shoot down reconnaissance drones and Shaheds on the approach to major Ukrainian cities. This aircraft has a low stall speed of 100 to 140 kilometers per hour. This allows it to pursue drones while maneuvering at relatively low speeds, a maximum speed of 470 kilometers per hour. and a flight duration of 2.5 hours provide time to search for targets and repel large enemy drone attacks. Presumably, the crews of the Russian improvised interceptors work in cooperation with the air defense forces, which have radars and can coordinate the work of the pilots. Militarny previously reported that Russian mobile firing groups have started to be equipped with SKVP tactical radars from the latest Pantsir-S system. It is also possible that Russian aircraft will be equipped with onboard target detection equipment in the future. In May, it was announced that a Russian design bureau had integrated an optoelectronic module and small arms into a Soviet Yak-52. Due to security threats, Estonia will dig a 40-kilometer-long anti-tank ditch on the border with Russia. ERR reported on this. The construction of large border defenses has already started on the country's eastern border. As part of this work, a 40-kilometer-long anti-tank ditch is planned to be dug along the Estonian-Russian border over the next 2 years. The engineering arrangement is part of the planned system of the Baltic Defense Zone in Estonia. Where there are swampy areas, there is no need for them, because you can't get there with equipment. By the end of 2027, we should have more than 40 kilometers of anti-tank ditches ready. Lieutenant Colonel Einar Afanasiev, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, stated. He added that there should also be nearly 600 bunkers dug into the ground. The plan is to create a protective zone along the border with Russia, about 100 kilometers long and about 40 kilometers wide from the land border. Armin Silevask, project manager of the procurement department of the Estonian Defense Investment Center, RKIK, noted that this year they plan to create 2 resistance points, one in the northeastern part of the country and the other in the southeastern part, which will include up to 14 bunkers. This year, we also plan to set up warehouses. Currently, all the materials for the barriers are in pre-storage areas, but this year we will move them to the warehouses so that they are as close as possible to the construction site to the resistance points as possible, Silevask mentioned. Estonia has stepped up its measures to strengthen national security and defense by initiating the construction of the Baltic Defense Line on the country's southeastern border with Russia. The anti-tank ditches are being built in accordance with the analysis of the needs of the country's defense forces. In peacetime, they will serve as part of the border infrastructure, increasing the effectiveness of border protection. How much longer will the President Trump give Putin before he moves forward with the sanctions that have been threatened?
So how much longer will the president give Putin before he moves forward with the sanctions that have been threatened?
Well, we fully understand the sanctions that we have available to us, and at some point the president may decide to do that. That'll be his decision to make. He's not going to go around and artificially announce a time frame, but he's also pointed out that it's important for Europe to do so as well. There are still countries in Europe that are buying Russian products, including Russian oil, and what the president has challenged our European partners is to impose the sanctions themselves that they're asking us to impose. So, they feel deeply committed to this. They should take we want to encourage them to actually do the things they're asking us to do.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.